Hey guys, Rob with AIM. This is part 3 of our 4.4-part series of Swimming 101, and just kind of wanted to bring Domino 1 and Domino 2 together. Just a quick review. Remember, Domino number 1 was trying to teach yourself to stay as tall in the water so that you can become as hydrodynamic as possible in between strokes. The second thing that we asked you to take to the pool and go practice was swimming with a pool buoy, so your body could start to memorize what does it feel like when you're swimming horizontal in the water. Remember, our goal is to decrease your water drag, okay? By staying tall, what we're trying to do is increase your momentum and cut and pierce through the water. Domino number 3 is where we bring all those together, and that's where the breathing component comes in. Now, I know it sounds silly. You think, well, why isn't breathing at the beginning? Well, here's the reason why. Unless you're tall in the water, unless you're horizontal in the water, breathing will never come natural in a swimming environment. Okay? Think about it. If I'm swimming along and I'm swimming real short, I have nothing to lay onto. So I can sit here and tell you today that what you need to do is tie your belly button and your nose together, and there needs to be one continuous rotation. Well, if you're not tall in the water, and if you're not horizontal, okay, imagine my middle finger is your spine, all right? If you're not horizontal in the water, I'm swimming towards you. If I'm not horizontal in the water, okay, my hips are down here, now the water's dragging. All right, I can't rotate because I'm not tall in the water. I have nothing to lay onto. You start to swim in a downward spiral. That's why when you go to rotate to breathe, the water's filling your mouth up. Now, for some of you, it's kind of one of those ahas. That's why I can't breathe. That's why we wanted to do this series where we can get you to take the fundamentals, master the fundamentals, then you can build on it, whether it's speed, endurance, strength, all the above, okay? So one of the things that we want to talk about is your number one focus needs to be staying tall in the water, okay? There's a couple books that are out there that talk about pressing the buoy. We always call it a press the chest, but now they put some punch words on it. Essentially what you want to think about is you're swimming downhill. I'm swimming by pressing my chest down in the water, which automatically brings my hips up. I always want we always want an arm out in front, okay? We call it swimming forward at all times. The reason being is if I'm swimming like this, okay, and I pause the camera, no matter where I'm at in the stroke, no matter where I'm at where I pause the camera, I've always have something in front of my head. That's why we call it swimming forward, okay? So you think about it, if you think about the first drill we asked you to do, and that is start to get familiar with swimming tall, okay? The whole idea here is if I'm swimming nice and tall, when I go to rotate to breathe, I have something to lay onto. All right, if this arm is short and short and short, I have nothing to rotate onto, I'm going to get stuck on my stomach. Here's where it starts to compound the problem. Imagine I'm laying on my stomach, okay, and I'm swimming down the lane. You have to draw a 90-degree angle off the front of the head and off the shoulders. Well, if my hips are down here, I'm not going to be able to rotate to breathe. I'm going to pick my head up in this 90-degree quadrant. Well, remember back on segment number 2, when you pick the head up, the hips are going to drop immediately. So what happens, let's say it takes you 25 strokes to go one length of a 25-yard pool. Here you are, you're breathing by picking your head up, hips are dropping. So what ends up happening is now your hydrodynamic drag just increases exponentially. You try harder and harder, you go slower and slower, you get more desperate for air, you pick your head up, and now you've rushed the whole swim cycle, okay? In an ideal situation, you want to have plenty of time to rotate onto the arm, your mouth breaks the water line, big breath of air, you're back in, okay? That's what you want to be thinking about. If you try to rush the rotation and you try to shorten your arms up because you're more worried about getting your arms turning over, that's actually going to become more detrimental to your swim, okay? We're going to be releasing a series of specific drills for each one of these segments. The first one is getting tall in the water. We're going to release a series of skills and drills for that. The second one was getting your hips up high in the water. We're going to release a series on that. And this third one here is putting it together where breathing starts to make sense. Okay? So thanks for watching. If you have any questions, email us, Robb, R-O-B-B, number 3 @earthlink.net.